Welcome back to Ask Allison. Here's today's question. Love Ask Allison. Thank you. I'm curious about your opinion. Should I post my fees on my website? First, I want to thank Therapy Notes. They are the #1 rated electronic health record system available today. With live telephone support 7 days a week, it's clear why Therapy Notes is rated 4.9 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot and has a 5-star rating on Google. Therapy Notes makes billing, scheduling, note-taking, and telehealth incredibly easy. And now, for all you prescribers out there, Therapy Notes is proudly introducing ePrescribe. If you're coming from another EHR, Therapy Notes makes the transition incredibly easy, importing your demographic data free of charge so you can get going right away. Find out what more than 100,000 mental health professionals already know. Use promo code ABUNDANT at therapynotes.com for 2 free months. So, to post your fees or not? This is a great question, and we are divided on it as a field. So I'm going to explain the argument for each side, and I'm going to give my 2 cents, of course. So be clear, there's no right or wrong as long as the client knows your fee before your first appointment. So choose whichever side feels like the best fit for you and your business, and let us know in the comments. I'm curious which one you choose. So here's the anti-fee posting side. I'm going to give an example from my own life. Years ago, a business coach I'd worked with hosted a retreat that was fairly costly. I knew that there's going to be a pitch for a year-long coaching program at the retreat before I arrived. And despite not knowing the cost, I knew that I, quote, couldn't afford it. However, the retreat absolutely blew my mind and gave me exactly what I needed at that moment in my business. And when they pitched the extremely costly coaching program, I moved heaven and earth, which really means I got online and found 2 0% APR for 18 months credit cards to make it happen. I knew that what they provided in a weekend would pale in comparison to a year of working together. And it did. I doubled my revenue as a result of their guidance, which, gave me way more money than I'd spent on the program. I never, ever would have joined without the opportunity to see what I would gain by working with them, thanks to that weekend retreat. So those who discourage posting your fees want you to have the chance to connect with the client and show both your value and the opportunity available to the client if they work with you. They want the client to be able to buy into the experience of working with you as you speak with them, rather than just dismissing you based on a fee that's posted. There's the potential to weed out bargain shoppers as well. Folks who are bargain shopping tend to do price comparisons up front, and they're not going to bother with a consultation. So it's a perspective that definitely makes sense, and it's reflected in a lot of other businesses. It's ideal for clinicians who are really great at communicating their value and have worked on their money stuff. Okay, let's talk about the pro fee posting side. And personally, I happen to be on this side. Here's another example. When my kids were little, I hired a sleep consultant because I was being woken up 8 times a night. That is not an exaggeration. And that was not working so well for my brain. I was so grateful that she had her fees posted on her site. I had no frame of reference for what a sleep consultant cost, and she'd come highly recommended by 2 people I trusted. So I knew that no matter what the cost would be within reason, we would probably be hiring her, because sleep deprivation was it's rough. I may have flinched a little bit when she set her fee. I might have, thought about it for longer and not gotten started sooner if I hadn't had the opportunity to check out what it cost. Not that it wasn't worth it. It totally was worth it. But coming from the therapy session fee frame of reference, I wouldn't have expected what it cost. So clients who are accustomed to paying their $20 copay, for instance, may think a typical session fee is astronomical. So I say let them have that information via your website so that they can mull it over before calling. In fact, my group practice was getting more calls than we could handle. So I made a really big shift. I took our phone number off our website. I put a required field in the contact box that acknowledges my available clinician's fee. And then anyone who contacts us already knows what the fee is. And it is cut way back on the callers that need to use their insurance or want to use their insurance. So here's the deal. There are 3 kinds of clients that might get in touch with you. There are some people who can afford you but won't invest. And that's whether you're private pay or they haven't met their deductible or they don't want to pay their copay. There are some people who can't afford you, whether that's private pay, they haven't met their deductible, they can't pay their copay. And that's where either your colleagues or your sliding scales could be helpful. And then third, there are some people who can afford you and they want to pay your fee. Most of our ideal clients want therapy and they're willing to invest their time, their energy, and their money. And that money may be a sliding scale fee, it may be a copay, it may be your full fee, just depending on that client's ability to invest. So for the first two groups, the folks who can't afford you and the folks who won't afford you, let's not waste their time or yours with a phone call. As a former person who couldn't afford much, it was always really embarrassing to have to say out loud, I can't afford that. And as someone who can now and will invest in the things I find important, I'm likely to say I can't afford that rather than I won't prioritize that if what the person is offering doesn't feel important enough to me. And I'll say that to kind of spare the person's feelings because I'm not likely to say, this actually isn't that important to me. So basically, you're going to get a financial based response either way if you're talking to people who won't afford you or can't afford you. However, the people who can afford you are going to come right in, as whether they've seen your fee or not, but it makes it less work for you and less potential embarrassment or discomfort for other clients who are not your ideal clients. So choose your own adventure, but know why you're choosing what you're choosing. Today's free worksheet is the first phone call script so that you can feel really confident and comfortable in that first phone call with clients. I'm going to link to that. We have more scripts, systems, and mindset work in the Abundance Party where we help people build fun, full practices. You can join us for 40% off your first month with the promo code WINTER via the link in my bio. Have a great day.